Welcome back to The Watch, and today we're going to be talking about, the box office and the upcoming box office, and apparently cinema goers, cinemas themselves are very worried that the box office draw relies upon Aquaman 2 to make them money.
Ooh, DCU. The DCU.
No, it's still DCEU because it's Aquaman. This is the problem with DC right now. Apparently people are worried, especially cinemas, that it all hinges on them because there's not really any bigger releases coming. We're supposed to have Dune Part 2, but that's been pushed to next year. And apart from that, there really isn't any other bigger stuff coming out. So,
true. Well, they're just saying here in this article, in 2022, they had Avatar: The Way of Water. Obviously, that sold.
Massive.
Spider-Man: No Way Home in 2021, and The Rise of Skywalker in 2019.
Yeah.
Look, we can say what we want about this, but at least people actually went to the cinemas to watch that.
Right.
Yeah. With this year, you're right. It's kind of like you've got Aquaman.
And the DCEU has been killed by Warner Brothers, so there's no real point to go watching that because the DCU, I know it's confusing, is the thing that's starting soon with, what's his name?
James Gunn.
James Gunn at the helm of it.
Is that a complete reboot?
Yeah. Yep.
I must have been living under a rock. I mean...
But this is the problem is they're rebooting it. They've told people they're rebooting it.
Oh, right, because there was the whole Superman thing. Right,
Yeah.
right. I did know this.
But they're also still releasing DCEU movies.
Why? Oh, for money.
For money, yeah.
Silly me.
And to be they've really put themselves in a hole here, and that James Gunn doesn't really have anything interesting, I would say, coming out until, was it 2024? 2025? That's when the slate is actually getting started, yeah.
Well, it's just funny because, I don't have much hope for this because you have things like The Flash and Shazam.
I like Shazam.
Blue Beat, but it didn't perform well.
It did not perform well, but I liked Shazam Fury of the Gods. I thought it was alright.
In terms of cinema owners who are like, I need a Christmas movie to sell tickets so I can keep paying rent.
Yeah.
And you're putting your hands into James Gunn, who is like, give me another 2-3 years and we'll make one for you.
The crazy thing is, right, if you look back to Snyder's stuff, who we've got something to say about, Snyder, when he was doing Batman v Superman and they didn't do well with audiences and critics, but they made a lot of money. They made 700, 800 million. So they were not... they were still lower than Marvel, but they were much closer than now. We're talking... It's more than halved recently with the most recent releases of the DCEU. And so I think it came down to when Henry Cavill was let go. And people were like, why are you doing this?
People love Henry Cavill, and for very good reason.
Yeah.
If you have hired him, you better do right by him or you failed.
I'm just sad for him because there was a recent spy movie we saw that he was in, but he's like a side character to the story of we just want Henry Cavill with main character energy doing
Superman.
stuff.
He literally deserves it so much. That man works so hard. He's so passionate.
He's passionate. He's a fan of all the stuff. With The Witcher, he's like, hey guys, you shouldn't be doing this. He gets fired. And then Superman, he's like, I want a good Superman. He gets fired. Give the man a job.
Yeah. All I wanted was a more accurate Superman. Even the tone of the Superman film, the Man of Steel film, was completely wrong.
Yeah, it was
but
grungy.
I liked that he was more modernizing Superman. I liked that take. I just didn't like the tone of it because that's not what Superman is. So I'm very upset we never got a proper Superman film with Henry Cavill. Now, the Justice League was an interesting one because I didn't like was it Joss Whedon?
Joss Whedon, yeah.
I did not like his cut, but I liked the Snyder cut. I think it felt more complete with what he had set up before. So I liked it more. And I like seeing Darkseid. I like that stuff. But switching gears a little bit, because we have Aquaman being this year's box office draw, which is terrifying for cinema owners. We also have Zack Snyder himself saying some wild stuff.
I think recently he did an interview and people were asking him questions and then he was just spurting all this stuff I'd work with James Gunn again if you let me, give him a call. He said, if I need you, I'll call you. Yeah. And some other crazy stuff about Amber Heard.
Now, I think Zack Snyder got a lot of goodwill from Justice League. Everybody wanted to see the Snyder cut.
And people enjoyed it.
And people were like, look, the DCEU has a whole bunch of problems that people don't like, but at least it was cohesive and at least it had a... it had a glimmer of hope in it. You know, it had a couple of little silver linings in it. In terms of Aquaman, though, he is not a Arthur Curry. Like they race. However,
he's Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa
in the DCEU.
Jason Momoa is cool.
Yeah.
So I gave that one a pass. Yeah. So and then we have Cyborg was kind of, we didn't really get to see much of him. Who else do I have? Flash. Flash was not good. I feel like we can say that, right? Flash not good.
The fact that they continued to work with Ezra Miller as all that stuff was going on
is crazy.
Is insane to me, but and not really insane given that Zack Snyder clearly doesn't care about Amber Heard either. So
Batfleck, I liked Batfleck.
Yeah, I liked his performance as Batman.
Yeah. So on average, I'm saying I liked the casting. There are a couple in there where it's like, but for the most part, I liked them. Recently, though, Zack Snyder said some stuff. Who wants to?
I think you should.
Me?
You guys are very passionate about this.
You guys can talk about this.
Do we want to read the title or?
Zack Snyder says he doesn't get why people don't like Amber Heard.
Was that it? I thought there was something else.
Director Zack Snyder said that he doesn't understand the online abuse that Amber Heard has faced since the high-profile court battles with ex-husband Johnny Depp. I just don't get it. If other people don't like her, I don't know what to say. I would work with her in a second.
Isn't it so funny how the way you phrase something changes completely the public interpretation? Because he would say abuse, and I would simply say accountability.
Yeah. I mean,
which is something that a lot of these people really like to go for. It's called being accountable. It's like, yeah, but when you're held accountable, it's abuse. So what are we supposed to do?
Like, even I don't think Johnny Depp's gotten much work since the trial either. I haven't seen him in anything.
I think he's doing Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's because they're actually bringing him back.
Yeah,
they like fired him, and
a lot of people were upset that he got fired from that. So that's kind of.
I think he was basically kind of semi-retired from acting because he's like.
That's what it seems like to me. I feel like Johnny is just kind of coasting right now.
He's just doing the roles he wants to do.
He's just enjoying
like a Daniel Radcliffe. He's like, I'll just do what I want, you know?
Yeah, and that's honestly super based. I respect it.
Now, this is the weird thing. Is like, it doesn't matter who you believe. I really don't care. But I don't think that siding with either of them, especially in this sort of way, wins you any points.
No.
And it kind of comes off as like you didn't even understand what happened. So I can understand why a lot of people are making articles and headlines out of this going like...
Also, in terms of working with her, he worked with her in Justice League. Was she a very prominent character?
No. I think like one or two scenes.
In fact, I wouldn't have known she was in that movie unless they brought it up during the trial. She's in it for like 2 seconds.
Like, that's why I'm like, obviously she wasn't a problem because she was literally showed up and then left straight away. Like, it's not like you had to direct her much. Something
to add about that is we actually saw the Aquaman trailer for the new movie, and it actually didn't look too bad. And now people have said, Shad said specifically, that Amber Heard was in it. I literally did not see her. Did you see her?
Can we check the IMDb?
Give it a go.
You keep talking, I'll check.
So we watched the trailer, and the trailer actually didn't look half bad. It didn't look terrible. Yeah. But I didn't see Amber Heard in it at all. Well, I mean, maybe she was in the background or something.
What was exciting to you about the trailer? I mean, I personally don't. I like Jason Momoa, but I don't find the concept of Aquaman to be like a huge draw for me.
What I got from the trailer was that him and his brother Orm are gonna do like a buddy team up type thing. Okay. So it didn't seem terrible, especially
so like leaning more into like the comedy style, like buddy movie, or.
Well, it seems like Manta is coming back. Again. And so that's what all I got from the trailer, basically. But it didn't look as bad as like Flash, and it didn't look bad as...
How did the CG look? Because I feel like the DCEU has had a pretty bad track record for its special effects.
See, I don't like
the Flash was terrible.
Yeah, I don't like judging trailers CGI because that's usually very rushed. But the DCEU, or whatever you want to call it, just VFX in general has kind of been sucky the last few years because everyone's been crunching and not actually paying it. Like, it's a whole messy thing. But Amber Heard is credited in being in the next movie.
Okay.
Like, I think that's going to make or break things. Because I didn't see her in the trailer at all. Apparently she was in it. But I'm curious to see how much she's going to be in the film.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were speaking about that when everything was going down.
I wonder how pressured they're going to be to maybe cut a lot of her scenes, if not all of them, and just reshoot what they have to avoid the problem based on what the general consensus.
I reckon this time they will actually try and reshoot stuff. because people warned them about the Flash. Like everybody with a brain cell was like, hey, you know, this is going to be a bad idea, right, with the Flash. They did nothing. They released that film, and it did not do well.
It's just crazy how different the DC, or just DC and Warner Brothers and stuff were compared to Disney and Marvel, like with Kang the Conqueror. As soon as the accusations came out, boom, he's gone.
And even now, I haven't been following it, so I may be wrong here. I don't know, but apparently he's innocent. Like that, like apparently
it's very.
I have no idea.
It's such murky water; it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
but Disney's just staying away from it.
Yes, it looks like Disney is just still avoiding it no matter what. Yeah.
Warner Brothers is like court cases, law, prison. They don't get it.
They really don't get it. Alrighty, is there anything else to add, or did you want to take us out?
Surprise, surprise! Major film company doesn't get it. Not again.
Yeah.
But as always, everyone.
Sorry to get you up.
You interrupted me. Most important part. I was going to finish it up.
Go.
Stay and watch, everyone.